We are live talking the NBA. Tyler will join me real soon. But I figure I'd just jump on, right? There's no reason to look at a blank screen while we wait. And been a little bit of my frustration this season. My gosh, we can't seem to get on the right track, man. And I'm so looking forward to NBA, and of course, still love the NBA and end up winning. Um, but taking a look at last night, you, one major mistake was made. We shouldn't have played the Pistons on the road, and I knew better. And we're just getting back in the swing of things, right? So then what happens is you need a little bit of luck. And we did not get that luck in Utah. You know, Lauri Markkanen hits that shot to put the team up by one. Part of our handicap had been Paulo Banchero not playing well. Of course, he has his breakout game against Utah, and then is able to nail that final shot and send us home as losers in that Utah game. Um, one game, a coin flip. When you're looking back at coin flips and you're analyzing yourself, you don't say, "Oh, we had bad luck. We should have won." We said we probably should have stayed away from that game. And I talked about that yesterday. I felt like maybe forcing it a little bit on a shorter slate. We had a 3-point edge there. Well, four, because we had Utah winning by three on the projections. The Magic were +1, right? So felt like a pretty good spot overall, and luck wasn't on our side. And then just failing to remember, we got to be careful of these young teams on the road. Definitely have to be careful of these young teams on the road. Yeah. So, hey, you're going to get, I see Clyde in the chat right now. I see my guy, Kate Jonathan Nelson. Um, Clyde says, Pitt -3, but this is an NBA show right now. So, yes, I mean, we just crushed. We cleaned up NFL, and we'll do NFL here in an hour and a half. But I'm talking about some NBA. All right, the next thing. So, enough of the woe is me, right? These things happen. You go through funks, and we know one thing is betters, right? We know how these things can happen. You can just go through bad streaks. And I would say last night with that Jazz, coin flip didn't go our way, right? On top of forcing the game, which was what really disappointed me there. Should not have got involved with the Pistons on the road. They're going to be a team that we're going to be looking to back at home only. So tonight, the NBA in-season tournament begins. Now I've heard a lot of talk about this. Here's my thoughts on this in-season NBA tournament. There's no net negative to it. The worst that can happen is it's the same as the regular season right now, which, unless you're gambling on it, let's be honest, isn't very good, right? It's fun for us because we gamble, but for the average fan, and try and get them hyped for Brooklyn Nets versus Chicago Bulls tonight, that's going to be tough. And I've talked about this before, and you guys don't want to hear me go on my soapbox about the lack of urgency in an 82-game schedule. So this is what they've done to create a little bit of urgency in season. Now, will it work? I don't know. I have my doubts, but here's my feel. It can't be any worse than what we're getting now, right? It can't be any worse. Another fun angle here is these court colors. So these courts just look wild, right? I saw a nice tweet today, right? If you ever wonder what it was like to play on a fruit roll-up, kind of what it looks like here with this NBA playing in-season tournament. How will that adjust the shooting? Not much to be taken away there. So this should be fun tonight. So for those who don't know, here's how it goes. So every Tuesday and Friday will be the in-season games. So all the games, this is in November, every Tuesday and Friday. There's no games next Tuesday because of Election Day. There's no games next Tuesday. So tonight it will start, and then our next one will be next Friday. So these games are in the group stage. For those of you familiar with the World Cup or anything going on in Europe, it'll be a group stage, and the winner of each group will advance to I believe it's just a one-game knockout tournament. And there'll also be 2 wild cards. It's another fun thing about this is point differential matters as a tiebreaker. It's a second tiebreaker. Maybe teams try and run up the score because of that, especially as it gets closer. Maybe teams don't care at all. I heard some quotes from Steve Kerr earlier He said he's not necessarily going to ramp it up. He's treating them like regular season games. So he said, in a finals game, I'd play Steph 42, 43 minutes. That's not going to happen here. He's going to be at his normal 35 minutes. So the guys are treating it like a regular season game. But my point is, this can only be good. There's no downside. I mean, if the tournament sucks, it's just normal regular season. Clyde asked, how many games is in the group stage? So if I believe right, there's 6 groups, 5 teams in each group. So you'll play 4 games. You'll play each other team in your group once. So tonight, the Cavaliers will take on the Pacers. The Knicks are in the group with the Bucks. The Nets are in a group with the Bulls. The Warriors in the group with the Thunder. Wizards in the group with the Heat. Mavericks in the group with the Nuggets. Grizzlies in there with the Blazers. And boy, that's going to be a fun game to break down once Tyler gets on here. Rye Cape says, I'm looking at the futures and a bunch of teams don't care. So I don't get what from the futures. How are you seeing that teams don't care? Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they care either, but I'm just wondering how you got that from the futures. I'm just grabbing it from some of the quotes for these teams. The Sixers group is stacked. Yeah, I could go over these groups again right now. But yeah, it should be interesting to see how it goes. Right, Kate? Throw in the chat how you feeling about that Sixers trade, getting rid of James Harden. Tyler didn't think you added enough. I thought it was great. You have Maxey taking over that Harden role. And then, you got role players such as Covington and Batum that are going to only help. More usage to Embiid and Maxey can only be good. Don't need a big 3 anymore. Only need a top 2 players, and you've got that. He says the numbers are long compared to the NBA championship. Well, yeah, that will make sense, right? Because there's much more likely of there being an upset here in a one-game winner-take-all format where you're right. If Jason Tatum kind of rolls his ankle, he's not going to play through it, whereas in an NBA Finals game, he would. And it's one game. And that's what we love about the NCAA tournament is that in a one-game format, the underdog has a way better chance of advancing than in the best-of-7 format. Well, how many times has a LeBron team come out late in egg and get one, and then they continue to win? So, right, Cape, hey, I would trade for me too. I'm a great locker room guy. Jonathan Nelson says, any futures do I like for the tournament? I mean, the Lakers probably win it. Yeah, they probably do. You guys will get every single call, but we're not going to go on to that tonight. Tyler, I just figured I'd talk to the people before you jumped on rather than us looking at an empty screen. How are you feeling today? I already lamented our losses last night.
Yeah, I mean
that Jazz game, it was a coin flip. It could have gone either way. Just, boy, we got to start getting some of these coin flips sometimes, though, right?
Yeah.
So just feels like we haven't got any coin flips at all. Before we dive in, just your overall thoughts on this in-season tournament that begins tonight.
I mean, I really don't have any overall thoughts because they've the first time I've ever done it, and they didn't really say anything. So, do the players even care?
Just as much as a normal regular season game, right?
Yeah. So it means nothing. They painted the courts. Woohoo!
All right, Tyler fired up this morning. This afternoon, if you're on the East Coast, the Cleveland Cavaliers are -3. They're in Indiana taking on the Pacers. This will be the start of the first ever in-season tournament. Tyler, how historic that we have a total of 226.5. What are you thinking here when the Cavs take on the Pacers?
Yeah, if Halliburton's in, I'm on the Pacers. If he's out, I'd probably just stay away from the game. I mean, I'd rather bet the Cavs at home than on the road. Mm-hmm. And they still have two of their 3 main guys with Q tags too, so they could miss those games to lean Indiana. Not touching the total.
Let's not get involved in this one yet. Jared Allen, Darius Garland, both questionable for the Cavaliers. Tyrese Halliburton and Jalen Smith questionable for the Pacers. A lot of times we're trying to get ahead of this news. I think that you're kind of making a mistake if you do that. Just for the sake of discussion, Tyler, my numbers have a slight edge towards taking the Pacers plus the points, but not enough to really get excited about it. Also have a slight edge to the under. The New York Knicks are +6. They're in Milwaukee. They're taking on the Bucks, total 224. Tyler, I think the Bucks are going to be good, but we're seeing a little bit of adjustment here with Damian Lillard being on this team. Bucks defense, the vaunted defense of the Bucks is definitely taking a hit, and it also feels like Adrian Griffin's trying to just do everything new to get the team away from Bud, but it feels like they've also just taken away some of the things that this team did well. The total is 224. I have the game as the Bucks winning by 3. That says that we should take the Knicks. I don't know how I feel about that though. Giannis will play for sure. Andre Jackson's questionable. I'm not familiar with Andre Jackson's game. RJ Barrett questionable. Damian Lillard will play. Your thoughts?
Yeah, with Barrett having that Q tag, I mean, that kind of, I think that'll hurt him a little bit. It's New Yorker pass for me though, because Milwaukee just doesn't look like they can close games, and I'm not sure they can blow this New York team out.
Feels like whoever sets the tempo will win. My example will cover. So I would say the over is completely correlated to Milwaukee here, and the under is completely correlated to New York. If Milwaukee can make this a shootout, getting up and down the floor, a lot of this game being played in transition, they're going to cover the 6 points. If the Knicks can make it a knockdown, drag out type of affair, I think they can cover the spread. So if you do feel like you have a way to get involved, maybe throw a little extra and just parlay it that way, right? So if you like the Bucks, throw a little extra couple of units and parlay it with the over. If you like the Knicks, parlay it with the under. So Rye Cape brings up a good point. Milwaukee coming off that tough loss against Toronto. He says great teams take a loss out on the next opponent. I like Milwaukee big tonight. Any thoughts there?
I mean, I don't hate that call, but they're a new team trying to work out kinks with a new coach and new system. So it's not like they've been running the same system and just got blown off the floor.
Yeah. And Clyde, I appreciate you tuning in, but we're listening here. I told you I have the Bucks by 3. The line is 6. So take that nonsense out of here, okay? And I'll say it one more. Actually, I'm not going to say it one more time. I'm going to say it 1,000 more times because you're going to keep running this bit in the chat. It's good to have your numbers close to Vegas. That means you're doing things right. These guys know what they're doing. The Brooklyn Nets are plus 3.5. They're in Chicago. They're taking on the Bulls. Total 222. What do we got going on here? Claxton still out for the Nets. Cam Johnson out for the Nets. Dinwiddie, Dennis Smith will play. Ayo Dosunmu, questionable. Zach LaVine, probable. Oh, and Dalen Terry's in for the Bulls. Your thoughts, Tyler?
Yeah, just give me the Nets.
Really?
I think they're a better team to be able to defend the Bulls' best players. I don't think Vucevic is enough to just win them the game anymore. So I'm on Brooklyn here. I think they defend their guys. And Ben Simmons and these guys are out to make a statement. They won the Heat game. They're going to win this one too as underdogs.
All right. Are we taking the money line at plus 137? Or are you taking the plus 3.5?
Let me take the points to be safe, but I do think they win the game.
All right. Yeah, right. Yeah, Clyde likes to get at me here. He definitely is one of the ones that enjoys me losing my stuff. So Tyler likes taking the Nets here at plus 3.5. The Golden State Warriors are minus 5.5. They're in Oklahoma City taking on the Thunder. Tyler, I like to fade the Warriors on the road. My numbers like the Thunder and the over, Clyde. So I'm not just going right on the line. I have the Warriors winning this by 2. Total of 232. Tyler, what do you think? Do you want to take a stab with the Thunder here on some superstar subtraction?
Nope. Not with SGA out.
Oh, come on.
Nope.
Live a little.
Already having a hard time reading the league. This is one of the teams that's a thorn in my side. Now their best players out. Stay away from the game.
All right. I like the Thunder plus 5.5 here. What do you think of my over?
Yeah, just stay away from me. I'm not touching the game at all with SGA out. I don't want the total. I don't want the side. I don't even want to look at this game.
The Washington Wizards are plus 9. They're in Miami taking on the Heat. Total 224.5. I got the Heat by 8. I want to take the Wizards, though, and take the points. What do you think?
Miami doesn't win by margin, so it makes sense. It's just a
The
question
Wizards might be so bad though that they can, right?
It just makes the question of if they can score to keep up. And the Heat's defense will, at some point, the Heat will play a bunch of defense in this game.
Bro, did you see Jordan Poole throwing alley-oops off the backboard down 20?
Yeah.
I love this Wizards team.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably another one I stay away from. Lean Washington with the points, though.
I got the total at 225. It's 224.5. No edge on the total. I want to take the Wizards here. I want to take some points here tonight, Tyler. I got an edge to the dog on every single game so far. Do you think that's a mistake?
I mean, it's Friday. You see wild shit happen in the NBA on Friday.
No. I'm sorry. On the Brooklyn game. Why do my numbers like the freaking Bulls so much?
I don't know.
Makes me want to throw up. We're going to manually adjust that. All right. Yeah, but I'm liking a lot of dogs here so far tonight, Tyler. I think I'm going to take some Thunder plus 5.5. I'm going to take some Wizards plus 9, and I'm going to throw up. Yeah, we're going to have some guests here coming up. Amarillo, with NFL going on, and then I got a couple trips coming up. I'll be in Vegas again this weekend. I'll be in Reno a couple weekends, but I'm going to reach out, and we're going to get some people on here. I'll keep the names to myself because I want to confirm them first, but there'll be prominent people that you guys know and people that we worked with before. The Dallas Mavericks are plus 6 in Denver, taking on the Nuggets. Total's 228. My numbers have the Nuggets by 5 on a total of 228. So we're right on the total again. I don't know. I think it's Nuggets or pass. Right, Kate mentioned it earlier about the good teams. Couldn't this be the same situation where they fell to Minnesota? Now they come back home to play Dallas. Kyrie comes back into the lineup tonight, and we've all talked about how we don't think that he matters that much to this team. Of course, Jokic and Murray still probable. Can you imagine if they sat out? That would be disgusting. What are your thoughts here? Nuggets minus 6.
Yeah, it's Jokic triple-double and win. I think they smash. They're going to come off that big loss and come back and get a win here, I think. So that would be my play in this game is back the Nuggets, bet through the Jokic triple-double and win at plus 270.
All right, I'm going to lay the 6 points. The Memphis Grizzlies. We're going fast. Tyler, we're going to have to rant. Should we slander Russell Westbrook or go back into some of our old bits?
No, I mean,
we're just tearing through this.
We don't need to just. We're not filling airtime with dead time.
Are you sure? I mean, we could just start arguing about LeBron.
No, let's just get to the last game spread.
The Memphis Grizzlies are minus 3.5. They're in Portland. They're taking on the Trailblazers. Our total in this game is 221. Tyler, this is another one, bro. Why do my numbers like the Grizzlies here? There's no way. It's Trailblazers or pass. You got to be kidding me. This team hasn't won a game yet, have they?
Yeah. No, they haven't won a game. Aldama's still doubtful. Derrick Rose is out. Scoot's out on the other side. But I mean,
who hasn't been playing well? You brought that up.
Yeah, he stinks. It's Portland or pass.
He doesn't stink. He's just not as good as we hoped.
Yeah, Portland or pass.
What do you think his ceiling is from what you've seen so far?
Not high. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, he's going to be at least a serviceable guy.
He can't shoot, and where's all the athleticism that we were told he relies on?
He could be Andre Miller. He could be Tyus Jones, right?
That's a third overall pick.
These things happen. Look at the history of number 2 picks for the whole life. Number 2 picks are traditionally terrible, which is why it's so crazy when everyone wants to tank. Why? So you can get Darko Milicic? All right. Are you with me, though? Blazers plus 3.5, or do we just not touch the game?
I think we don't touch the game. I feel like they're the right side, but they also are one of the worst teams in the league. I don't want to bet them, and then they just don't show up at all. They can't score any points, and Memphis grinds out a win.
I mean, bro, they got Shaedon Sharp. We're putting points up.
He can't shoot.
He can dunk. He's actually not that bad. He put up 27 the other night, Tyler.
Yeah. Against the Pistons, who also stink.
Who are getting close to average. All right. So you do not want to join me there in taking. Bro, I want to take like almost every dog tonight except for Denver.
I like Denver and I like Brooklyn here.
Okay, so when we're filling out this playbook, I already told you I want X's next to everything. Which ones do you agree with me on?
Brooklyn and Denver.
That's it?
Yeah.
No Wizards.
No, because I could see them not being able to stop the Heat's offense at all, even though the Heat don't want to score, and they still win the game by double digits.
No Thunder, huh? No
I'm not
Knicks?
betting them with SGA out when I've already went 0-3 on them, and now I'm going to try and bet them with their best player out.
All right. So it looks like our two favorite plays of the day are the Nets and the Nuggets. Tyler, some overall thoughts on the league before we sign off. And I guess what was the point of us pushing back 130? We thought we were gonna be going long today, didn't we?
Well, yeah, I mean, normally these slates are longer, but 7 games isn't all that much. And the matchups aren't that good either. So, I mean, just got to take what the league gives you at this point, right?
I mean, the Mavericks Nuggets is a good game, right?
Yeah. But are any of the other matchups all that good?
Yeah. Nets Bulls.
That's not playoff teams.
Knicks Bucks.
One contender.
Warriors Thunder.
Old versus new. And the new
Bro, you're in full hater mode today. I'm gonna be on your level, Tyler. All right, so Tyler's telling you he's not excited about watching the Washington Wizards take on the Miami Heat. Right, Cape agreed.
Yeah, the whole board's shit today.
All right, well, it looks like we found
a third spread.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
I know you're trying.
You got to give me some credit here.
I give you some credit, but we just can't polish it. You're never gonna unpolish the shit off of the turd. And this slate is shit.
Sound like these wrestling podcasts I listen to with that analogy. All right. So best bets for the day: Nuggets -6, Nets +3.5. Anything else for the people, Tyler?
Jokic triple double +270.
All right, there you have it.
If you want to bet the Luka one, because it's the matchup of the guys, like could they both get there? Yes. They got Luka priced at +650. I feel like that's a little wrong, but at the same time, it's gonna be tough to get 10 rebounds with Jokic and them guys down there.
All right, man. So you're telling me not to bet all these dogs today?
Nope.
I bet you if you bet every dog, you'll be profitable, except for the Mavericks, and maybe not the Pacers, but all those other dogs look good to me. All right, Tyler, what am I going to do for an hour before our next show starts?
Grab a snack, hang out.
All right, I guess we'll do that then. All right, guys, we'll be back in an hour. We're going to break down the NFL. We will see you then. Thank you for joining us. Nuke the house. Most likely, I'm not going to be here on Monday. It'll be Tyler and JC doing the rundown, but I'll still have the projections up all weekend. See you guys soon.